Hey there, hi there, and hello, my fellow entrepreneurs from around the world. I hope today finds you safe and well. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to create an online quiz in Leadquizzes. Leadquizzes is a particular online software for creating quizzes, and I'm going to be jumping into the computer and showing you step by step how to create a quiz from scratch. So, just so you know, I'm not going to be going into the how to design your questions exactly. Like, I'm going to show you how to create them, but I'm not going to talk to you about how to create the quiz, what to write, and that kind of thing. I've handled that in another video already, and there'll be a link to that around here somewhere, depending on where you're seeing this video. Okay, so take a look around or let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's the two of them work together. The other thing you should know is that Leadquizzes is not the only quiz software out there, and it's up to you to take a look around. I'm demonstrating on it because it is the first one that I found, and it's the one that I have experience with. But it's probably not the only one of these videos that I'm going to do, so don't feel like, oh, she said this one, so it must be the best. This is just the one that I know, and I found it easy. And let's, are you ready to take a look? Because if you're tossing up software options or trying to work out how to do this stuff, come with me to the computer and I will show you how easy it is and break it down for you. All right, let's go. Okay guys, so what I'm showing you today is this quiz making tool called leadquizzes.com. You can see it here. And what I've done is I've logged into Leadquizzes number 3, version 3. They have an old version and a new version, and I've just logged into version 3. That's what I signed up for, and this is what it looks like on the inside. Before I take you through the quiz creation process, I want to show you this document that I have, which has all of my quiz questions broken down. Like, this is some of my thought process to get there. And now I have this broken down. I have a question, and it has 4 responses, and each response maps to a result, which is at the bottom here, which I've started mapping out here. So if they answer A, then it maps to this option 1, and forget about this scoring system. I didn't know if I was going to have to do scoring or not. We don't have to worry about that, which is great because don't have to worry about the numbers and everything. But this is where I have the next option, and I have 4 results, and each option in an answer maps directly to a result. And then the quiz engine will work out, okay, you picked more A options than B options, here's your result, and serve the person the right one. So there we go. That's what I'm doing. I'm creating this kind of text-based quiz in Leadquizzes. Just so you know, you can do image quizzes and video quizzes, but they don't give you the chance to do all of this writing. And this is a quiz that I created a couple of years ago for a client of mine, and it's all about helping them move from the city to the country. 7 sides, you need a tree change. And yeah, this is basically the building blocks. If you want help on creating the building blocks in a document first, I have a video on that, and it will be linked around here somewhere. And that is something you can check out, how to build this out and create the results first, and those tips and all the fun stuff. So let's move over to Leadquizzes. So when you get into the dashboard area, we've got the big blue create button, and that's where we're going to start. And then you'll be brought up with this screen. Now, each of these options here are kind of templates or starting points. From my own experience, I found these really hard to work with. It didn't work for me. I found it easier to start a quiz from scratch, and that's what I'm going to show you. But you are welcome to hover over these, click preview, look around, see if they might be a better starting point, give you some ideas, that kind of thing. But this is what I'm going to click, the create button in the top left. And then we have this option. We have an outcome option or the scoring logic, which is the numbers and assigning a value to each answer and that kind of thing. I'm just going to pick on this outcome logic one for starters because it's just easier for me to demonstrate, and it gives you that starting point. You can play around with the scoring logic and that kind of fun stuff as well. So, and then set the content name, and that was up the top here. 7 signs you need a tree change. Here we go. And Control C to copy and Control V to paste, or Command C, Command V if you're on a Mac. But I'm going to be doing a lot of that between the document and this piece of software. So just put in that name. Don't worry if you don't know your name, you can change it immediately afterwards. So you're all good. And we'll just let that do its thing. Okay, so now we are in the quiz creation area. And I find this really easy to work with. And we have this area here on the left, which gives us all these options, text questions, image questions, that kind of thing. We have this area on the right, which is broken up into 3 sections, which is our start screen. So the very first screen that people see to convince them to click the Take Quiz button. And then the content elements, which is basically your questions. And then the results, which is based on what questions they answer, they'll get one of these results. You'll notice here we have kind of a click and drag thing. So we left click and drag, and these pink line up with the pink box. The blue options are to be used here in the middle, and this is to be used at the top, which is your cover page. And we also have some options here. There's some menus up here to help us do the design, so you can make it look like you're branding, configuring some things in terms of maybe lining it up with Facebook and your Facebook pixel for doing ads, that sort of thing, sharing reports, and I'll show those to you when we need them. But just so you have the layout, that's what we're working with. So what I like to do is I like to start with the results first, because then when we add in the questions and we have to map each answer to a result, for me, it makes it easier. So I'm going to work backwards and then come to the start screen last. But here we go. Left click on Results Builder and move it over to Results, and you'll see it's the only place it'll let you drop it. We put in the result. Now I'll go back to my document. I will find my first result. Now all of my A options line up to this first one, so that's why I'm putting it in first. It makes it easier to line everything up and to match them later. Just a quick little tip. Do them in the same order as your options. And I'm not sure if this, I'm sure somewhere there is a thing to tell it to change the options around when it's showing it to people, but I'm not building something to trick people, or this is not a marketing quiz. This is like a market research quiz. This is just for some fun and to get some interest. So then to build your next result, we left click and drag to the results thing and drop it in, and we basically repeat the process with the results. And I will spare you having to watch me do all of this copy and paste, and I will do that offline. Just put these spaces in. I don't know why it won't just keep them. And click Save button. Don't forget the Save button. And there are ways, we'll get into the design and making it look a little prettier soon, but this is what we're doing. So I'm just going to pause while I add in the other results so you don't have to watch that. Hold on. Okay, so we have all of our results in here. Just checking that I'm recording. We have all of our results here, and on an order of, you need a tree change as soon as possible, through to no changes needed for you, use City Slicker, that kind of, just something to make people smile. Okay, and now to start building the text questions, we left click and drag over to the questions area, and then we do this copy and paste. We put the question in the title area. We can add in an extra description if we want, and then we start adding in answers. You can change the order around, and you can even change the order around after you've mapped them. That's probably what I would do if I need to do it manually. Allow multiple selections. That's currently in the off position, and here's what it will look like when we build it and add new answers. So I'll just come over here and start with my questions. Don't know why I did that funny voice. I just wanted to make things a little easier. But here's the first question, and Control C to copy, Command C on a Mac. And then we come over and then we do this copy, which I know this seems annoying, but once it's done, it's done. Or you can find someone on Fiverr to do this, add new answer. So we've got another blank option, copy this one. And I'm just keeping everything in this order so that I can easily map them in a moment. So copy this last option and add new answer. And there we go. Once those are in, you've got select media up the top so you can add in an image. And in fact, when we get into design, we can add in an image to the background as well. But I'll show you that momentarily. Click save here. And then we have our first question. Now we need to map those answers to the results. So click on this like sort of an open map tool. So click on that option and now we map them. So here we go, A to number 1, B to number 2, C to number 3, because I did these in this order. It saves me time, and D for no change needed for you. And click save. So now that's done and they're mapped. If you want to get into extra crazy stuff, there's a logic mapping tool with the whole, if they answered B on this question, then show them this question next or that question next, that kind of thing. If you want to get excited, I'm not going to show you that. I'm just showing you the basics to get you started. And for all of these, you click on the pencil to edit. This double paper thing is duplicate, and the trash can is to put things in the trash and get rid of it. And you can change your order of your questions if you want, but not the results, it seems. So I'm not sure if I said this already, but I'm not doing image questions or video questions because they don't allow you to have as much text. You get about 3 or 5 words, and I built this as a text-based thing. So that's why it's all text questions. Then we build out our next question, we left click and drag over, and we then go to the next question and Control C, put it in the title area. I skipped the description, but totally up to you on that. That was my first answer, wasn't it? There we go. And you can see how then we just build out the next question and answer thingy. I'm not going to put in all of my questions because that would make this a longer video than you would probably need to see, but this is just giving you an idea about how this all works, since I have been asked about it and it's much easier to just show this in a video. Click save, we have our question. And then the last thing, once you have that, you can see this blue thing is lit up to show that that has been mapped to results. This one is still grey, it has not been mapped, so just so you can double check that before it goes out. And we left click and drag, actually just so that I'm showing you best practices, then we map these answers B, C and D. There we go, click save. And I think that's just really good practice if you're building so you don't miss anything. And then left click and drag the cover page over, and this is where we get into the whole 7 signs you need a tree change, and then hey, sick of the traffic and not enough time. This is not perfect for your family. Do the quiz to see if you need a tree change right now. Obviously you would do this differently, take a bit more time on this. This is just for demonstration purposes. And the button label would be take quiz. So that gives you that idea. You can again select media the same as you can for all the other areas and just quickly add in an image like so if you wanted to, and click crop. You can do that for all the questions if you wanted to. Right, and then click save here. So we have this laid out. You would take more time than what I'm doing, obviously. Then Once you have all that set up, we go into the design area, and you might go back and forth between build and design. But you can then change your font, for example, if you wanted to. The font color just by left clicking, picking, adding in your brand colors if you wanted to. The button color, I didn't grab the hex codes for these guys, but I think they have like a dark blue thing going on in their branding, and the blues kind of match up, but you could change some of that stuff, maybe do something, I don't know. You can also upload an image here, and just gonna, this is the same image that I just uploaded a moment ago, but this will go into the background, and it will be in the background of your entire quiz. And then you see how we can't see the text now. If we go into this background container color, the double zeros mean that it is invisible. But if we put up that to be white, then we kind of have this whole thing going on. And I know you probably wouldn't double up the pictures. This is just demonstration purposes. But you have that option. You can also get a bit excited if you wanted to do something like this, or change the colors into more of the branding thing with the blues. Don't know why I'm going purples, but oh, there's a green, some greens. There we go. Something like that. You can get excited if you wanted to. And you can change that opacity of the background image as well. Click save. Like I said, this is just some demonstration, not necessarily the perfect best case quiz. This is just to get you started. It gives you some idea of the design. With that background image, if I go back to build and I show you the questions, you'll see that it will be there if we click on the edit for the first question. So now that background and this being green, which I don't like now, I see it there, this is the color when I highlight over. You see how you can spend a bit of time on that kind of thing. Click save again and go back to design and change things if you want to. The configure area, this is where you put your search engine optimized title for the page so that search engines can find you. Same with the description and privacy policy stuff, and you can give people a step counter, cookies, that kind of thing. This engine also integrates with things like Facebook Pixel, and I'll show you that in a moment after I show you the share part. To click to share, you can just copy this link and send that to people once you're done. You can also click this content embed and make that responsive, and use this embed code to put it in your website here, this copy to clipboard. This embed code goes into the body area of your website, and you can look up instructions on how to add stuff into the body for whatever your website is on YouTube. There will be people to show you that stuff for sure. And but the one thing, and then you have the reports here. Once you start sending it out, you'll start to see views, contacts, completion rate, and then the responses and things like that. The two things that you need to know for integrations, up in the settings, go to integrations, and you will have, because you'll want to integrate this with your mailing, like email option of choice, so you can set up these, and there'll be instructions on how to do that, and that can be a future video that I create. But also, if you're running ads at any time, you want to be using Facebook Pixel and set that up. And again, I'm sure there will be instructions on that, but you need to set those up here, so then you can go back in your dashboard and then connect them up for your particular quiz in that configure area. Okay, so that is that. Let me just show you. Sorry, that was the quiz that we were creating, the share. So if after you get those integrations set up, you can then select them here and connect them all up to that particular quiz. When you share, if you want to take a look at how people on the outside world will see things, we paste that in, but I haven't hit the publish button yet. Page not found. We need to hit publish button, and then you'll be able to see how the world will see it. I'll click publish. Let's live on the wild side, people. Now, just Control V again and hit enter. And this is how the world will see it, and then they can click to take the quiz. This is how you test it and go, okay, cool, I did that, I did this, and here's the option that I get at the end, and you can see how things look and add things in and change the green background. But yeah, that's how we do things. And if you want to move to the northern inland of New South Wales, Australia, then this is what it looks like, okay? And there's even a restart button and the powered by Leadquizzes, and I think you can remove that if you pay more money, etc. So that's Leadquizzes in a nutshell. If you have questions, let me know in the comments. Like I said, I have that other video to take you through what to put in the questions to give you a high-level overview. And if you want more help and details and that kind of thing, message me so that I can help you out. And yeah, all right. That is it, and thanks so much for joining me, and bye for now.